All right, so here we go again. We're pushing the limits of 8-bit codec to the extreme. Check out these shots. This is S-Log2 to Rec 709 to a Wavematic LUT. Now, a lot of times you hear, we have to have 10-bit, we have to have 10-bit, 12-bit, 16-bit, whatever, to be able to color grade. Now, I agree, 10-bit and 12-bit are extremely great codecs that work very well, especially when you're doing heavy color correction. And I'm not a colorist, but if you look at these results, especially if they are being viewed on a TV or an iPhone or an iPad or a desktop, the majority of people will not even notice. And what I want to do is I want to help out any beginner filmmakers or people that are aspiring to film and make shots and create content and give it that cinematic or just a nice pop of color and creativity to their scenes. I don't want people to necessarily feel like, wow, I don't have, the Sony A7S III, or I don't have a red Komodo or a Blackmagic, Ursa Mini or whatever it may be. I want people to utilize the most out of what they have currently, which I would start with a smartphone and then move on to a budget-friendly camera. This is all shot on the Sony ZV-E10. The purpose of the ND filter in an indoor setting is to give me the most dynamic range for these shots. If I were to just expose for myself with this light, I would not be able to get any or retain any detail or color science in the windows. None of my windows in my house have tint. It's completely clear, so they will be blown out and overexposed, especially being, a 10-bit codec and it's not some fully blown cinema camera. Because I properly expose for the windows and then I expose for myself by using a ND filter, it'll give me that full range from start to finish of proper exposure, making it look like I have 14, 15 stops at dynamic range with the amateur camera like the Sony ZV-10. This thing is only under $700 and it comes with a lens. So that's the trippy part about it. And I want people to see the potential this camera has and what you could do if you properly expose, properly correct your white balance, and then match it up with Rec 709 to any type of LUT you would like to use. Now, I did go in and I added a little bit of noise to make it give that natural like film grainy look, and then I did take away some sharpness. I believe it was like -10 sharpness, just so overall it kind of gives it a clean image. It's kind of like that filter they have on IG where you throw it on and kind of takes away all the blemishes on your face and everything. It's very similar to that, but not that heavy. And obviously that's like, it's quick, it looks great, and it works perfect for what it is. But this will give it that kind of like a misty, filtery look. So in this shot, I'm sitting on the table, drinking my coffee, acting like I'm working on something important on my laptop. As you notice, the light, it's gonna look very harsh because we're trying to emulate the sun coming in, whether it's a sunrise or a sunset golden hour. And that helps when you take off all the diffusers and you just shoot the light as is. Now with this light, it's a 60-watt light, and it'll have a little cube where the light comes out of, and that will give it that harsh look. Otherwise, if I use a diffuser, it's gonna have soft, like natural, nice lighting. Well, not natural, because some natural lighting is harsh, but with the diffuser, it's gonna give it very soft, appealing lighting, which is great for talking head videos such as this one. But if you want that harsh sunlight, this one light at 60 watts, it's not even that powerful, will give me that look. So I did sit by a window. There was a window on my right side, but I put the light right there to just emulate the natural light that was bleeding out from the window and to kind of give it that directional point. The actual sun was behind me, but it worked in my favor because it gave me that harsh cut in the shadow, and then I also got it all on my right side with the cup and hitting the metal, and it kind of had a nice little glow. I think it would really top this shot if we were to add some halation, some glow to it, and like a black pro mist filter. That'll really give it that cinematic Netflix type style vibe where it just has a nice clean overall look and everything looks kind of like little grainy but like smoothed over type of thing, not so sharp and perfect. I think that'll work really well. So in post, I exported it to my phone and I'm using the VideoLut app. And with this app, I added a little bit of halation and glow to it just to give it that more dreamy cinematic look, but not overkill where it looks like a soap opera, but just enough to where it kind of makes it dreamy and intriguing of the shot you're trying to do, especially if you're adding some like nice, you know, Stranger Things type of music to it, or a pivotal scene in the movie or the short, whatever it may be. These filters are amazing. So the Sony ZV-10 is definitely showing its worth by what you can do with this 8-bit codec. S-Log2 to Rec 709 to whatever LUT that you are working with, you are able to push the limits on this camera, push the limits on the sensor, the color space, the color science to the next level. Especially with proper exposure, you're gonna have the look of a Hollywood style film because due to the dynamic range. With this camera, if you truly sit down and put in the time and the work and the discipline and study it and white balance and color correct properly and expose properly, you can get some really great shot. So if this worked for you guys, let me know if these shots look realistic, if this artificial light is looking realistic to the point where you feel like it really was the sun coming through the window. Obviously, you know it's not, but if it looks pretty good, let me know if this is good enough to convince the audience that this is truly a sunrise or a sunset shot. Remember, let's push our cameras to their full potential, whether it's 8-bit, 10-bit, or 12-bit. Let's really go out there and plan ahead and make our shots phenomenal to keep our viewers entertained, excited, and happy to watch our video once again.